All right, lads. Well, what do you think of saying? Tell me your names first.
Rory.
Wojtek.
Jack. What's your name again?
Wojtek.
How do you spell that?
Wojtek.
Is that like Polish or something?
Yeah, Polish.
Yeah. What's your name, sorry?
Jack.
Jack. Okay, I usually ask people questions to see what they really think of animal abuse. You up for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, what do you think of animals is the most basic question. What do you think of animals? Do you like them, love them?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Love them.
Yeah? You?
Love.
Love them. I think they're...
Okay, so animal abusers, people who abuse animals, what do you think of that or them?
I dislike it. They're placing hell for them, like.
Okay.
There is indeed, like, of course you shouldn't be doing that to animals. They're like one of the precious things. They're like your best friend.
I agree. What about you?
I think it's a complete disgrace and they don't deserve anything.
Okay, cool. So, fox hunting, bullfighting, somebody kicking a dog, like Kurt Zuma, I don't know if you follow football, do you remember he was kicking his cat during the summertime and posted it on social media? Stuff like that, you think that's all morally reprehensible and something that's bad, basically, yeah?
Well, I mean, some of it, like, I know, like, animal shooting, like, over in America is a big thing, like, in sports and all, like, stuff like that there. So...
You mean like Joe Rogan type stuff, yeah?
And, like, hunting, like, it was a natural thing for humans to do back years and years ago. But now, with, like, all factories and all having to do it for you, putting it out in the shelves, such as Tesco, I don't feel like there's a need to do it. But, like, animal abuse, such as, like, your dog or cat and stuff like that, is just wrong to the highest level, like.
Yeah. What's the attribute in animals, or what is it about them that you think that's wrong to abuse them? Let me help you out. For me, it would be that they have nothing more than they have the ability to feel pain and suffering in exactly the same way that we can. And if it's morally bad to hurt a human unnecessarily, then the same would apply to animals. Would you agree with that or not?
Yes, I would agree with that 100%.
Okay. So this is the harder part. This is the part where people start to veer off in different directions. Okay. So animals that we take into slaughterhouses, we hang them upside down, we cut their throat, and we turn them into burgers and sausages and whatever. Do you see that as abuse, or do you think that's okay?
Yeah, I do see that as abuse, but if you think about it, it's kind of like a life cycle. That's how humans survive. Yes, you can go vegetarian. Plant-based stuff is coming out.
Yeah.
But that's natural carbs, that's natural protein that you should be intaking. Like, I know it's wrong. The animals don't get treated right 100% in them slaughterhouses, but it is life cycle.
That's a good answer, by the way. What about you?
To be honest, I agree with them. They're born, like, they're raised up, like, and they're fed well and all that there stuff. But, like, yeah, they get killed, which, like, isn't right. But at the same time, people need to get, like, actual, like, protein in them instead of, like, protein shakes. You need, like, actual protein, like, meat that has fat, like, all that there stuff. So I said it's a good and bad thing at the same time, like.
What if I told you I haven't eaten an animal product since I was 19 years old? I'm 56 now, and I'm thriving on a plant-based vegan diet. And the science says that you can thrive on a plant-based vegan diet, the government science, which means it's unnecessary to kill animals to eat them when you can just eat plants, which therefore makes it abuse, obviously, if it's not necessary. If it's necessary to protect yourself or harm somebody because it's going to harm you, well then that's a completely different conversation. But if it's not necessary, then surely what would be the difference in hanging a pig upside down and cutting their throat, or hanging a dog upside down and cutting their throat, other than cultural difference, what you've been taught? These animals we care for, and these animals, fuck them. What do you think of that?
Well, yes, it is basically a form of abuse. The difference is people would prefer to eat a pig instead of a dog. Do you know what I mean? But there is scientists that are coming up with plant-based stuff, like, for example, the McPlant. Yeah. I haven't looked into it, obviously. I ate it once. It tastes like natural meat. And I think moving forward in our future, there will be, what's the word?
Alternatives?
Yeah, there will be alternatives to animals.
Yeah, the alternatives are already there. When I first went vegan, they weren't. Now they are. You can go into Tesco's or Sainsbury's and there's a myriad of vegan alternatives, from the milks to the mock meats to the dairy cheeses and yogurts and stuff like that, and ice creams and all sorts of stuff. You can go into KFC and get vegan chicken nuggets and a vegan chicken burger. McDonald's, Burger King are doing a What's there's a Whopper, a vegan Whopper, 2 or 3 different versions, and a chicken version as well, a vegan chicken version. So you can go into any shop now and buy vegan versions of literally everything. Like anything you can name that you eat as a non-vegan, I can eat as well. I just eat a vegan version, and it tastes almost identical, like you've already said.
Do you know what I think?
So I'm going to ask you a question now. What would be the justification if it tastes exactly the same or almost exactly the same? It costs the same. Then how would you justify, other than what you've always known and been brought up? That's why I'm not judging anybody, because I was brought up the same way as you guys, that I thought I had to eat it to survive. Found out that I don't. So what would be the justification on doing what we do to animals when you don't need to?
I don't think there is a justification. I think it's just over all of these years, people have got used to slaughterhouses. They've got used to just going in the shops and buying products and taking them home straight away, and they haven't tried vegan stuff. What they do is just they're used to that, so they buy that. They don't try other things.
It's 4 things drive your food choices, particularly food choices: habit, tradition, convenience, and taste. And when you go vegan, you have to obviously spend a couple of weeks finding the things that you like, but you don't like all meat products, surely. There's some things you don't like.
Well, yeah, of course.
It's the same with vegan stuff. Some of it tastes horrible to me, some of it's absolutely beautiful. So it's just finding the things you like. But yeah, I wanted to ask you the same question. What would be the justification when you don't need to? Like, let me tell you one thing we do to animals in this country, because you talk about slaughterhouses and people don't do any research and they don't know anything. There's 2 pig slaughterhouses in Northern Ireland. One's called Cranswick in Ballymena and one's called Carroll Foods in Cookstown. They kill between them about 7,000 pigs every single day. Every day. Do you know how we do it, or what we do when they get there? Any idea?
No.
We put them in gas chambers.
I saw the wee little pigs. They do it to the little pigs too.
Yeah. Well, the ones that go into they're 6 months old, because they're bred to be huge animals now. They're freaks of nature, so they grow to fully grown in 6 months. The first time they ever see sunlight or feel the wind in their face is when somebody comes and puts them on a truck, takes them to one of those 2 places, and they get put in a cage and dropped down into a CO2 gas chamber, so it's like suffocating to death. Man, I've done vigils there where you spend some time with them before they go to their death. You should hear those animals screaming, man. It's fucking diabolic. I stood and cried my eyes out the last day I was there. It's fucking, and you would too. I know you would.
Yeah. Would it not, like, if you think about it, you're eating that, they're going in the gas chambers, that's probably bad for you if you think about it.
No, well, it's carbon dioxide, it's CO2.
Oh, right.
So that's why I say it's like suffocation, it's like taking your oxygen away. But it takes like a minute and a half, man, for them. Well, they lose consciousness. And it's only the big strong animals, so they roll out the bottom unconscious, they put a shackle around their leg, they hang them upside down, by which point they're conscious again. It's like going to the dentist and getting gas. You come around after they stop getting gas, and somebody pulls a knife across their throat, and the pigs have to bleed out, so their heart has to be pumping, so they're fully alive when they bleed out, man, choking on their own blood, and fuck the noises, man, it's diabolical. So if you can imagine that was, if you have a dog or a cat or any companion animal, if that was happening to them, what would you think?
Do you know what it is? It's like, see, with dogs and cats, you learn to, like, accept them, like, you love them, they love you back. With pigs, a lot of people don't establish the same.
Exactly.
They don't establish the same connection, so that's why.
And pigs are super intelligent. So if you go on the scale of intelligence, humans are top, then dolphins, corvids or ravens. Pigs are number 4. They're smarter than primates and apes and gorillas. They're smarter than dogs by lot. So, they give them tasks to figure out how to get food by doing this, this and this. And pigs are super fucking intelligent. So, man, when they come to the slaughterhouse, they know from the second they arrive, they hear what's happening inside. And they're terrified, man. If I could take you there and let you see that for 2 minutes, I swear to God, you'd never eat pork again. I'd be very surprised if you would. So that's what I'm trying to get through to people. If you wouldn't do it yourself, when you go into a shop and subconsciously you're paying somebody to do something to an animal you would never do yourself. Does that make any sense?
On the fact of the slaughterhouse, though, because sometimes, like, yeah, it is wrong and all, but it is keeping people in job, it's keeping people with a house above their head, like financial support for family and all like that there.
And I get that, but let me give you my answer to that. The arms industry keeps people in jobs, makes millions of pounds every year, but I wouldn't advocate that we drop bombs on innocent people just because it keeps somebody in a job. So I wouldn't advocate that we kill innocent animals just so it keeps somebody in a job. I've had numerous jobs in my lifetime. 6 or 7 different jobs. People can adapt and do something else. And it's not going to happen overnight, like everybody out of slaughterhouses and all the animals go free. It's going to be a gradual change that you've probably already seen that it's coming, that the plant-based products are coming. I just don't think it's a justification. It's keeping me in a job, therefore I'm going to stab that's somehow justified to stab animals when I don't need to. I don't think that's... Because people in Asian countries, like Yulin Dog Festival, keeps people in jobs where they're killing dogs and eating them. But you wouldn't think that's cool, would you?
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
I think over the years people are gonna like adapt to go on a plant-based diet, because all the products that are coming out they have the carbs, they have the protein, but I think a lot of people don't want to try it because they think it won't do the same effect as natural meat would do.
Yeah.
Like some people are brought up just to think that like vegan stuff and all isn't as good for you, like as eating a steak, all that there. Like I swear, like I've been, like my sister's like tried that there thing to be vegan for the whole of January, all that there stuff, like, but me personally I wouldn't do it because like
some of the alternatives are, in fairness to you, are rubbish. Like they're full of salt and sodium and all sorts of shit. But animal products, man, are a package deal as well. They come with saturated fat and cholesterol. They're full of antibiotics that they feed the animals to keep them alive because of the conditions we keep them in. And you're consuming, you're consuming death and violence as well, which may sound like a karma type thing to you, but I think all that stuff, that's why the people are in hospitals with heart disease and diabetes, because they're eating saturated fat and cholesterol are killers, man. The number one killer is heart disease. Protein. Let me bust that one for you in 2 seconds. Greyback gorillas are about 300 kilograms. They're hugely muscular. What do they eat?
Oh, I have no clue.
They eat plants. Cows eat grass. They grow to about 700 or 800 kilograms. So all protein, they have enough protein in their bodies from grass. All protein originally comes from plants. We just filter it through animals, and then we get the saturated fat and cholesterol, and we're paying for violence and suffering and death as well. And for me, if you can just eat a plant-based product, should it be an alternative, or literally just eat plants? Like you don't have to put vegan chicken in your curry. You can just put lentils or sweet potatoes and bulk it out that way, and it still tastes amazing. Well then, I can't see how it's justified once you know what happens in these industries. And that might sound judgmental to you, but you think it's worth thinking about?
I think it is worth thinking about. I think everyone should think about it, but not everyone will do it, because that's the way people are raised. I would consider, like, I'm not saying I'm not, I would consider, but I'm just used to these products of just going in, buying.
And so was I. Man, see, I'm going to give you a card. Everybody can change. And every vegan that I know, 2 weeks before they went vegan, were thinking, well, I'm not cool with paying for animals for that to happen to them. I'm going to buy something else. And they're thinking, shit, this is going to be really hard. And you see, if you talk to them like 2 weeks later, once they've realised how many things in the supermarket are accidentally vegan, never mind the vegan stuff, and you know what to buy when you go into KFC and McDonald's, or like, what's that pizza place down there called? Is it Little Wing or something? They have a full vegan menu with about 6 different vegan pizzas, starters, desserts, everything. So once you start to go vegan, you start to realise these things, and then once you know what to buy, you're sweet, you know. It takes 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to give you a card each.
The thing is like, I'm on my way to the Welcome Centre. That's where I'm on my way to.
Yeah.
But the only thing that the Welcome Centre will do is I'm hungry, so they'll only give me food that they've cooked, it will be meat. It'll be.
Well, man, how about I take you down there and buy something vegan right now?
Vegan?
Yeah. Let's do it. I'll turn this off.